Are you actually ready to 10x your productivity? In this video, you're going to be learning the 10 productivity multipliers that, if you start implementing, can in reality help you 10x your productivity. Let's get started. Hi, this is Karthik. Super happy to see you inside my podcast, inside this video. If you're watching this as a video format, so happy to see you here. Welcome. I just want to let you know one quick thing before we get started. I know this term called the 10x is probably widely used. A lot of people use this, but a lot of times you will see that that's just an idea. But in this video, I'm actually going to be giving you practical and implementable ways through which you can 10x your productivity gain. The first one that I wanted to share here with you is the 1x multiplier. Okay, so the 1x multiplier, I would like to call it as more about an awareness about the current level of productivity that you're going to be you're currently having. Okay, so let's keep this as the baseline of your productivity that you have. So the 1x multiplier, in fact, is going to be your awareness about the level of productivity that you already have currently in your life. It can be very specific to how productive you are at your house, how productive are you when it comes to being at your workplace, and so on and so forth. But just that awareness is going to help you to get to this 1x multiplier. Okay, and I'm going to be just going to be sharing the other 9x multipliers in the next 9 to 10 minutes. That's going to be value packed, so please make sure you fully hear this, you fully watch this, take a lot of notes and start implementing these things. Okay, now let's look at the 2x multiplier for your productivity. What is it that's going to help you 2x your productivity? So, in order to help you understand this, you need to know what is the challenge that you have to conquer when it comes to doubling your productivity. Okay, one of the challenges that you might be facing is not sure where to start, not sure what's the next step that you have to actually take. And for that, I would like to say that the multiplier, the 2x multiplier, you need to be implementing is none other than goals. When you have the right goals, when you know how to create the right goals, that's going to help you have a lot more, kind of a direction that's going to help you give that direction towards where you want to go, so that you can start implementing things that can make you productive in real time. Okay, so that's your 2x multiplier, which is the goals. And I would like to call goals as your natural distraction filters. There we go. 2x multiplier done. So now let's look at the next one. Okay, so now let's say you have the goals. You have set huge goals that you want to achieve for yourself. Now, what might be the challenge that you might be facing next? The challenge is not sure if you can actually achieve these goals, right? A lot of us, we set goals, but we don't know if you can actually achieve those goals. And the multiplier that you have to work on, you have to start building upon, is what I call as building your next level identity. An identity which is congruent with the scale of goal that you want to achieve for yourself. If you do not internally believe in that you can make it happen, you are worth it, you have the confidence to go and get these things done, you have the resilience to go beyond the challenges and give yourself that time, give yourself that necessary grace, and go and achieve the goals that you have set for yourself. I hope this is making sense to you. Okay, so that's the 3x multiplier for you, your next level identity. So now let's look at the 4x multiplier. What's the 4x multiplier here? Before that, let's understand what might be the challenge. You have the goals, let's say you're creating your identity. The next challenge that you might face is you are probably unable to keep up with the motivation for long term. You're probably staying motivated for a short duration of time, but you miss out on that long term motivation. And the multiplier you need here is what I call it as your whys, your deep whys. The the more the whys, the deeper the why that you have, the higher the level of motivation that you are going to be feeling day after day after day. And it's like your whys can keep stacking up day after day. It's not like it has to be a constant set of 5 whys. In fact, inside my community, I help my members to create 108. Yes, you heard it right. 108 whys, which are very congruent to their own identity. Okay. So that's the 4x multiplier that you need. So now let's say you have your why. Okay. What might be the next 5x multiplier that you need? Can you just think about it for a moment and actually share it in the comment box below? Or if you're hearing it on my blog or on my podcast, wherever you are, right? If you have an opportunity to share it as a comment, please pause and think about it and let me know. What do you think would be the 5x multiplier for your productivity? Yeah, I hope you have done that. So let me share here what that might be. A challenge that you might be facing here, in spite of having the why, would be constantly feeling fatigued and burnt out. Because a lot of people think that productivity is a short term game, whereas productivity, when you start playing it as a long term game, you start giving importance to how can you stay out of the burnout, how can you not get fatigued in this game. I hope you've started guessing this now. The 5x multiplier that you're going to start implementing is none other than your energy habits. Your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, social, learning, all these habits, these are all energy habits that you need to start building upon. And if you're ready to implement a very practical step by step process, out of which energy habits are one of them, probably check out the links that I leave through the description of this podcast, of this video. And you can just sign up for my upcoming masterclass and learn how can you implement this multiplier very fast. Yeah. So that's the 5x multiplier for you. So now let's say you're getting energized. You are creating all the 1x to 5x multipliers. You want to get to the next level of productivity. What would that be now? Right? So the 6x multiplier would be the challenges, in fact, you might be facing next would be you started off, but do not know what's the next step and the next step. Probably you are clear about the immediate next step, but you do not know, you do not have a path that you can travel, that you can take up, that you can challenge yourself on. And the multiplier that you're going to see, if you start implementing this, you can get to the next level of productivity, which is the 6x multiplier. It's a concrete plan that you can put into action, not a plan that's just theory, but a plan that you can actually put it into action. And I hope within the 6x multiplier you already have a clarity about what are the things that are missing in your life, in your habits, in your routine, that you can start implementing immediately. Because these are the exact same things that I evaluate myself on when I know that my productivity is dipping off. Okay, so that's the 6x multiplier for you. The 7x multiplier, before that, the challenge that you might face next, let's say you have a path that you want to follow now. You have a step by step plan. But in spite of that, the next big thing that a lot of us face constantly in this era is distractions, right? So can you take a moment, can you pause and share in the comment box what are the top 1 or 2 or 3 distractions that keeps you away from your goals on a daily basis? Can you just self reflect and let me know in the comment box? And I'd love to read your comments, connect with you, and also share some important tips that can help you overcome those challenges, specifically on distractions. Yeah. And the multiplier, probably you've guessed it already, is setting boundaries. Setting boundaries, this is very specific to the external kind of distractions that keeps us away from focusing on things that matter to us, from becoming productive, from 7xing productivity. Okay, that's a 7x multiplier for you. And the 8x multiplier would be, let's say you're working on the setting the boundaries and minimizing the external distractions. The other big thing, in fact, a lot of psychological studies says that your internal triggers constitute to over 80% of your distractions. A lot of people think it's only the mobiles and the laptops that we use, but internally, it constitutes to over 80%, which means it's a huge multiplier. That's why it is coming at the 8x multiplier level here. Okay. And the multiplier here probably you have guessed it by now, is mastering your inner game through focus. How do you do this? And if you're interested to know this, again, you can sign up for my upcoming masterclass and learn how can you master your inner game so that those internal triggers can be minimized and you can get into that flow state of productivity. Yeah. So that's the 8x multiplier for you now. And let's look at the 9x multiplier now. Okay. The challenges to conquer might be that you are probably learning a lot of things, you're implementing it, you're getting the results, but the 9x multiplier of your productivity happens when you start implementing what I call it, which I learned from my mentor, as the golden triangle, which is about not just being in the learning mode, but also being in that learn, do, and teach. That's the golden triangle. And when you implement this, you will see that you can get to the next level of productivity, which is the 9x multiplier. Okay. And don't try to jump from 1 to 9 immediately. Take it as a step by step process. That's why it's very, in a very logical way, I've put it as 1x, 2x, and so on and so forth here. So that's the 9x. Now, can you guess what can be the 10x multiplier of your productivity game? Can you think about this? Guess and let me know in the comment box. And when I read your comments, I will I will know that you probably paused here. You thought about that, thought through this, and shared your comment below. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Let me reveal that for you. The 10x multiplier happens when when you conquer this challenge that you have, where you're doing everything all by yourself. You're doing everything all by yourself and not delegating things. The big multiplier, the 10x multiplier, is when you know that you can be influential and you can ethically influence others, be a role model so that you can start delegating things, so that you can start delegating things which are important for others as well, which are not so important to you, but important for others. That's when the 10x magic multiplier happens and you can actually and practically 10x your productivity. Okay, I hope this was useful. I hope you found this very practical. For me, these are exactly the multipliers that I evaluate on myself, and I suggest this to a lot of my students inside my community as well. So if you found this useful, if you found this valuable, do leave me a like, do subscribe to my podcast, my YouTube channel, and drop me a comment and let me know what are the multipliers that you need help with. What are the areas that you're struggling in currently that you need help with? And if you are very serious about implementing these multipliers, I'll leave a link through which you can sign up for my upcoming live masterclass, where I'm going to be taking you through that 6-step process towards helping you not just improve the productivity game, but also help you improve the influence game. Yeah. So thank you so much for being here. I hope I was able to add a lot of value within the short span of time. Let me know that as well, and I'll catch you in the next video or in the next podcast. Until then, keep 10xing your productivity. Thank you so much.